My name's Aaron, welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. Today I am reviewing Mancera Red Tobacco. This is £76 for 60ml and £136 for 120ml. The notes are cinnamon, argarwood, saffron, incense, nutmeg, green apple, white pear, jasmine, patchouli, tobacco, Madagascar vanilla, amber, sandalwood, black wood, vetiver, and white musk. Sounds delicious. Box contains everything that's required legally to sell within the UK and EU, which makes me as a chemist very happy. Don't ever talk about packaging, but I hate this. I don't like the feel of it. I'm very touch and sound and scent and everything orientated. This feels like cheap pleather. So it's saying jasmine, and jasmine has a lot of benzyl salicylates and a lot of benzyl compounds in. That's what gives its signature smell. It's also closely related in allergens wise to ylang ylang, and I'm not seeing any benzyl notes on the allergens. If you want to educate yourself, start looking at the allergenic compounds within essential oils, and you can detect quite clearly the allergens are coumarin, linalool, cinnamol, limonene, and isoeugenol, but without any benzyl salicylates, benzyl cinnamates, anything like that. Do we have our fragrance bottles? We engaged with our high self. Let's get testing. So this is a spicy oriental fragrance, absolutely, based around isu super, coumarin, cedarwood compounds. Now the tobacco, very interesting, accords generally are made up from vetiver, cedarwood, and aroma chemicals. This is quite incensey, but there's no benzyl benzoate. Benzyl benzoate's a component of incense raw materials. So this has acetates in to give some greenness to it and elevation, combined with the cashmarin raw materials to help give an expansive note to it. Absolutely has patchouli in it, and vanilla. So this is a really classic oriental fragrance actually. Sweetness to it, so it has ethyl maltol, trace amounts whipping through the base to just sweeten what could be quite an unpalatable formulation. The incense is the cinnamon notes, so using cinnamon notes, cedarwood, vetiver, coumarin. So this primarily is not taking up too much of a tobacco note, but then I do like tobacco in your face with lots of punch. This is a subtle tobacco based fragrance. Cedarwood compound gives the feel of a cedarwood box. I'm detecting that within this. I'd imagine they're backing it up with cedol, which is one of the components within cedarwood. It's very nice. There is definitely some acetates moving to this to give a pear-like quality, and the musks chosen are very nice. It's very vanilla-y, so I'd imagine ethyl brassowate is the musk that is chosen, because you're getting a abundance of vanilla, cedarwood, coumarin, a few naturals backed against isoe super. It's very, very nice. Very nicely balanced. It reminds me massively of Serge Lutens fragrance that I loved very much. But whereas Serge Lutens uses masses of naturals, which I really appreciate, this has sort of been toned down quite a lot. So I would say, in my opinion, this is about 90% aroma chemicals and 10% naturals, and for the price that sort of fits the brief. This also reminds me of Carlisle actually, from Parfum de Marly, that sort of thing. The choice of musk, now this is changing as it's wearing onto my skin, so they're using wood-like musks as well to balance the formulation and make this smell oaky, sandalwoody, cedarwoody, up to vanillin, cashmere woods, and backed upon isoe super. Very stable, very safe. On to my final thoughts. This smells like a mixture of the Perfumer house and Serge Lucen, but at a cheaper cost. So if you like those two houses, you'll absolutely like this. It is absolutely based around vanillin, coumarin, ethyl maltol, cedarwood, and then wood musks and clean musks in there to help give a clean feel. Vetiver to give it greenness, and lots of wood aroma chemicals. This is very, very nice, but it does smell quite a lot like those two houses, and this is in no way disrespect at all, but a cost-effective formulation. So I think it absolutely fits the price and the brief and everything, absolutely. But it's not very tobacco-y. It has tobacco nuances, which I think is very nice, because not everyone wants to go around smelling of a tobacco shop. The marks, if you're new to my channel, are split up. The first 4 marks are for technical ability, and that is whether it's made up from whether the box is legal, whether it's going to be safe, whether it complies with the massive amount of paperwork that you have to sell fragrance legally and safely. Next 2 marks are the cost, whether I think the brief fits with the raw materials, whether the raw materials fit the amount of money, and the last 4 marks are whether I like it, and that can be made up from so many different things, and that's always sort of where I sort of think, is it long lasting, is it fitting the money, sort of a mixture of all 3 points. So I'll go through my marks. Technically, this is really good. Technically, this complies, this is safe, really good, fits the brief perfectly, fits the name perfectly, fits the price. The price, I think this is really worth the money actually. You're going to get a lot of longevity and beautiful projection. To me, it smells like if you took Carlisle and added some tobacco nuances actually. That's exactly what it's like, with a tiny bit of sort of incense at the base. So if you love Carlisle and you just want something a little bit different, this is absolutely for you. Oak mossy raw materials in there to give greenness, depth and balance. This is really good. I actually like it. The more it's wearing on my skin, actually, the more I really like it, and the more I'm sort of really almost like but inspired actually. Do I like it? I like it very much, and as this is drying down, I'm preferring it more and more, and for the price and the brief and everything, I'm going to mark this a 9 out of 10. I think it's really, really good. So I'm going to summarize it for you. This is a woody based fragrance with vanilla assets to it. Coumarin has sweetness in it, and then it dries down to tobacco and slight earthy nuances. This is very, very fractiony gourmandy as well, from the sweetness from the vanilla. But the vanilla is quite apparent and gorgeous. I think this is suitable for everyone actually. I think it's dead on unisex. I think you could really enjoy this if you love sweet, woody base fragrance with tobacco nuances. It's not particularly offensive, not particularly picking up some fruit molecules actually. So they're really clever with this. It's a very clever formulation. It's sort of constantly changing and evolving, and I think it's particularly gorgeous. So I think a 9 out of 10 is really, really suitable. I thoroughly recommend it if you're looking for a new fragrance that's not particularly expensive, that's very long lasting and safe and easy to wear. The occasion I would suggest this for is, I think it's for a signature scent actually. I think it would be brilliant for a signature scent, and I think for the price you could apply this every day until you're bored and then go on to the next one. Very nice now, morphing and changing as the dry down. Very interesting, very nice, very inspiring. So I hope you love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content. Lots of moving hands and lots of fragrance reviews. I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you soon.